Well, it's the moment that everybody's been waiting for. We were back at Brian Knox's establishment for the second time ever.
What's that?
I'm talking to the
sorry.
YouTube people. No, you're all good.
Sorry, I interrupted Bobby's vlog.
Oh man, but yeah, we're currently working on a mini doc. We don't know what it's gonna be called yet, but it's gonna be kind of like just the Brian Knotts Chronicles, how he got started in this business, how he went from 9 to 5 to full-time photographer. So those are always very inspiring stories to hear, and that's why we're here to tell it. And I'm glad that I'm the one that gets to tell it, because I'm good at this. It looks like I definitely need to be higher up on the tripod. So let's try that. It's like still not high enough. In these, multiple days of just picking up the camera and recording something. I said vlogging. It hasn't always been a vlog. Sometimes it's just been tests. I did another test with the 7D yesterday. I actually filmed outside the apartment, and it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was just a great experience to get out and be outside of this space for a change. But what this has been doing is just helping me to experiment with the gear that I have. Right now, like I said, I'm using this kit lens from Canon. Isn't mine. I'm not even sure if I want it to be mine, very truly. I've used manual focus, vintage lenses, Canon FD, Minolta, Helios 44-2. I've experimented with the 85 native Sony lens. I've experimented a little bit with the Canon 80-200, and it's just nice to kind of know what you have and what it can do. Should we just introduce some artificial light just to make this better? Let's do it. Okay, that is way too much light now. Live shaping of light is the name of the channel from now on. 640 looks a little bit too dark. We talked about this. We talked about how I'm lactose intolerant. We did. We had a whole conversation about it. Oh, you're just trying to be in the camera? As I was saying before, the downside to a variable aperture lens is the fact that as you zoom, the aperture increases, and that can create a lot of issues. Even in a scenario, an environment like I'm in now, where the lighting is more controlled, we have a key light off to the side. I'm very intentionally out of focus because sometimes it's cool to have your subject out of focus while your background is fully in focus. It is mostly effective if there's something in the back that you need to draw attention to, such as this Be Happy sign. Outside of that, maybe it's a useless technique, but I do always like to switch it up because to feel the need to focus on what is right in the foreground every single time makes for kind of mundane filmmaking, and we're all about switching it up, trying new things, and just being innovative. The cool thing about a variable aperture lens is the fact that you can zoom all the way in like so. And although that aperture value goes up, you get a lot of versatility for a very low price compared to standard zoom lenses. Now what we can do is go ahead and switch to our 35mm Cine lens that I bought from Jarrett and see how that fares in this environment. Let us go. Now, some people argue that primes are a better option because you get such a fast aperture. As you can see, we've already had to change our ISO drastically. Now, this lens in particular goes from, oh man, it's crazy range. Now, f16 is what we're on now. You can only see the sign in the back, the Be Happy sign, and even it is somewhat dim in that lamp back there. As we increase I am not getting a live readout of what aperture I'm on as I do this. But now here we are all the way at f1.2, and you can see the black the background. That's hilarious. As you can see, the background becomes quite the blur. Now, a lot of people like this look because it's similar to that portrait mode that everybody has on their iPhone, and it is a very flattering look, but it isn't always what you want to go for. If you notice in Hollywood films, when there's a wide shot, or even sometimes when there's characters in a scene, you can see the environment. It's not always buttery like what you're seeing here, which is kind of the appeal to this lens. Beauty about vlogging in the car is that y'all can always see directly up my nose. It's like he really just went for it. That was sketch as crap. Like cutting across that many lanes of traffic with so many cars coming. I'm about to do it too. Let's go, let's go. Woo! Oh yeah, we're probably gonna film stuff there at some point.
Yeah.
All right, so what we're getting ready to do now is grab a few shots of Brian just working in his office. As just another piece to have in this documentary, another scene. It's kind of just relevant to the whole thing because as a photographer, obviously you're gonna edit photos, you're gonna do computer work, so it's just a quick scene, show that side of life. We were just at Regal Cinemas in Cherrydale, shooting some establishing stuff out there. It was actually for one of his clients. I was like, yeah, let's go capture that. So we did that.
God, you're recording.
The other day was at CrossFit gym, right up the road from where we live, well, where I live. That footage turned out excellent. I've been leaning into those silhouettes, just like really embracing the shadows. And I don't know, doing more of like a
drop your camera down on your side.
cinema exposure, which I know sometimes you just have to go with blown out highlights and expose for your subject, but sometimes we like to go the opposite direction and lean towards the moody look, lean into the shadows and accentuate our characters that way. So anyway, I'm headed up to go and film some of that. You probably won't see any of that because, I mean, you can, it's a small space. We gotta work and get that shot and not worry about, you know, this YouTube channel right now. But I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed on what's happening right now, since I just recently got into this blogging space and I don't do a ton of BTS, but we're out here. This is also day, what's the day, the 11th or the 12th? Day 11. Oh no, this is 12th. He gave me the wrong day. That's why you can't trust your friends, especially not the Bryans. No, I'm just kidding. It's January 12th. This is officially the 12th day of me choosing to pick up my camera and do something with it every single day. It's not necessarily going to be a vlog every time, but it is just helping me to stay sharp and creative and keep the practice going. Same way that an athlete is in the gym working out or, you know, shooting shots, running routes if you're a football player, that sort of thing. As filmmakers and photographers, I feel like it's important for us to do the same thing and just always be practicing so you don't become dull, so you don't become boring, mundane, repetitive, all that stuff. And that's just what it's all about. Yeah. This is hot chocolate, by the way. See, still no copy.
Dude, I love these things because, like, look in the. There's just like there's stuff and it's like it's pleasant to build too. It's very relaxing to build Legos. You know, Legos are like popular with grown-ups now because like they're borderline therapeutic, man. There's something about the snap. It's just like,
oh yeah. Now see, I always see the massive ones that people put together, and I'm like, you actually took time to do that. And then it's like, is it a thing that you only do once and then you just leave it because you don't want to ruin the masterpiece? Or do you like take it apart and do it again because you like the process? I'm confused.
We have never taken apart and redone except for one tiny one. By and large, I've learned that they are a one-time experience.
Yeah.
And when you spend like $200 on it, you think twice about it. Or, you know, most people ever spend it's probably 140 or something, but like, it's one time, you know, it's an awesome experience, but it's kind of like doing a puzzle. You don't really want to do the puzzle again. sorry, lapel mic, like a mic. Or no?
Are you gonna be like narrating through it or something?
No.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I mean, I don't really
Okay.
need that. I'd rather just have the ambient
Okay.
audio.
Okay.
But like when we were outside, I definitely should have done that. I didn't even think about it. I was just like, let's get out here and capture this stuff.
No, that's fine. Ambient's good.
See, like as a filmmaker, you're gonna mess up. You know, you're gonna forget things. You're gonna forget like to give your subject a laugh, so that when you're out here in this wind, you can actually hear what he's saying. And you're just gonna roll with it. You're gonna use the visual and probably not the audio because you messed up. You, not me. Like I would never do anything like that. I'm a professional.